Hi, I'm Steven. You can now watch UCF TV 24 hours a day on Bright House Digital Channel 1.
Coming up next on UCF Sports Night, doubles trouble. We meet with the Knights tennis duo of Jenny Frisell and Elvira Serrot. And it's never too early to talk about the fall. We check in with head volleyball coach Todd Dagenet. All that and more next on UCF Sports Night.
UCF Sports Night is brought to you by UCF TV. Today's show is also presented in part by Bright House Networks. See how bright life can be. By Holler Classic, the official automotive group of the UCF Knights. And by Coca-Cola. Welcome to the Coke side of life.
Hello and welcome once again to UCF Sports Night. I'm Jeff Sharon. Thank you so much for joining us. Another busy week of sports here at UCF as men's tennis once again kicked things off with another tough match against another ranked opponent as New Mexico State came to the UCF tennis complex. They proved to be quite a challenge for the Knights indeed. Let's take a look at the highlights. The Knights faced yet another tough battle on the home courts against the Aggies. This one would come down to the wire in singles play. Blaze Schwartz fought hard in his match, picking up a big victory, but the Knights came up short in the end, 4-3. Later that night, the baseball team faced Jacksonville. Shane Brown went 4 for 6, including a home run, but in the end it was the Dolphins who got the win in a slugfest at the baseball complex. Final score 14-9. The next night, the same two teams hooked up in Jacksonville, and Jake Huxtable had a 2 for 4 night for the Knights, but the Dolphins rallied late to take a 9-5 victory. Women's tennis also faced an in-state rival on the road. They traveled over to Tampa to face USF, and despite singles wins by Andrea Yakiman, Katie Orletsky, and Elvira Serrot, it was the Bulls who took the victory, 4-3. So the Knights came back home for another match 2 days later against Louisiana Lafayette, and the dynamic doubles team of Elvira Serrot and Jenny Frisell struck again. They fought their way to an 8-4 victory at the #1 slot, extending their record to 10-4 on the season. UCF also got a lift from a newcomer, Taylor Dubins from Miami, who picked up a doubles win alongside Alexis Rodriguez in her first action of the season, and the Knights would go on to pick up a 4-3 win. The baseball team had a tough 3-game set with conference rival Southern Miss over the weekend. In Game 1, Caleb Graham threw 5 strong innings, keeping the Knights in it, but Southern Miss would break a late deadlock and get the 6-3 win. Games 2 and 3 were shortened to 7 innings, and both were played on Saturday because of impending weather in Central Florida. The early tilt was another slugfest, with Bo Taylor going 3 for 5 with a 3-run homer late, but Southern Miss's bats carried them to a 26-10 victory. Then in the final game of the series, Shane Brown extended his hit streak to 18 games in a row, but again it was the Golden Eagles who came up big, 19-1 the final in that one. The softball team had its weekend conference series on the road at East Carolina, and a very good Pirate team had the Knights' number as they took both games of the opening doubleheader by the same score, 3-0. Then on Sunday, ECU again held the Knights' bats silent en route to a 5-0 victory. A very tough weekend for UCF against a tough opponent with a tough pitching staff. Meanwhile, men's tennis was supposed to fly out to Denver for a pair of matches, but bad weather out west forced the Knights to cancel the trip, and the matches with Denver and Middle Tennessee State. Weather not a problem back home as the football team held its first scrimmage of the spring season, and a solid one it was. Meanwhile, earlier in the week, independent investigator Michael Glazer released his report confirming that UCF's practice policies are well above standard. Here's Coach O'Leary's reaction to the report.
Yeah, I went to that press conference yesterday, and I had just read the summary, but I did have a chance to read the 24-page report. Now, it was a very positive report based on his observations on the program, and the recommendations are things that would can enhance our program, and I'm very happy with that. And people got to remember that the reason that we had this third-party investigation was because we had sources that were basically, in my opinion, very unreliable and outright liars that were reported on this. So again, it wasn't a surprise to me that what the summary read, because I truly believe that's what we're doing in our program, exactly, you know, what his observations were, and the recommendations can only help us in the future. And we'll meet with the administration, see what we can get going there, and anything to help the student athletes. But I was very pleased with the positive report, and again, I understand the agenda of some people. So you know, again, our coaches were pleased with, and I think the fan base understood exactly what's going on, and that just verified, you know, what we believe we're doing in the program anyway.
The week finished up with the track and field team hosting the UCF Invitational on campus. Kelsey Poljancic was one of the stars for the Knights, setting new school records in the shot put and the discus. Also, Dion Thomas posted an NCAA regional qualifying mark in the long jump event, and several UCF athletes posted solid performances and personal records, including Sheila Paul and Chantel Blackburn. Another solid effort for UCF as they prepare for the Florida Relays next week. And of course, for more information anytime you want on UCF sports, all you have to do is visit UCFathletics.com. More to come here on UCF Sports Night. When we return, they room together off the court, and they've become a nationally ranked doubles team on the court. We visit with Elvira Serrot and Jenny Frisell when UCF Sports Night returns. Fans, season tickets for UCF football in 2009 are available now. For more information, including new payment options, contact the ticket office at 407-UCF-1000 or visit UCFathletics.com. Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. Jenny Frisell and Elvira Serrot of the women's tennis team have a lot in common. They're both originally from Europe, they both roomed together on campus, and they formed the Knights' top doubles pair. This year, they've blossomed, climbing up the rankings to number 27 in the nation. We got a closer look at the Knights' dynamic duo on the tennis court in our Sports Night Spotlight.
I came here in August '05, and I don't know, I got a scholarship from UCF because my sister, she lives here, and she was looking for scholarships for me, and I came from Spain.
I'm originally from Sweden, Gothenburg. I came to UCF, I sent an email to the coach and asked if I could come here and play tennis because I really wanted to play college tennis, and I know how such a great player you can become if you come here.
Jenny and Elvira have been with us for 2 years now, but they never played doubles together. So this year we wanted to have a very strong doubles team on #1 position, and we thought that they have great characteristics that can match up together perfectly, and we went for this double team.
I trust Jenny so much, and she trusts me too. So like, we knew that we were going to be good, and it worked out. So since the beginning.
I know Elvira's a great double player, and I always wanted to play with her, and I knew that we could be great. So when we started to play, I felt a lot of confidence in her because she's very solid in the baseline, and I knew that she would be aggressive and that we would win.
Oh, we're super close. She was like my sister. We live together, we practice together, we're all the time together.
We're very tight. We are best friends off and on the court, and we do spend a lot of time together. So yeah, I will miss her so much. But I'm gonna go visit her though in Spain.
Every time we play, it's like we know we're gonna win, and we want to win so bad. And it's so much fun. We have so much fun. Every time, like if we lose a point, it's fine because we know we're gonna win. And I think that's the most important part.
The turning point, I think, came when we played Duke. since they were ranked number 4 in the country and their doubles team was ranked 11, I think. And we realized that, wow, we're beating these girls pretty easy. Like, we were up 7-0 and like we killed them.
They're working hard, they're doing the right things, and I can see that they both can improve also a lot. And we have lots of great expectations from them.
Our next goal of the season is to be ranked top 15, and then we're going to get into the NCAAs, and we're going to win it.
I want to win the NCAAs for sure, and I think we have great chances to do that as well, as we keep improving our game and we're being more solid and we're taking more chances and so on.
All right, don't go away. Coming up next on UCF Sports Night, we'll check in with head volleyball coach Todd Dagenais to see how his team is doing in the spring season when UCF Sports Night returns. Fans join the UCF football team on Saturday, April 11th for the UCF Football Fan Fest. The day includes season ticket select-a-seat, Bubbaloo's pregame pigout and Legends Barbecue, and the spring football game followed by an autograph session with the players. For more information, call the ticket office at 407-UCF-1000 or visit UCFathletics.com. Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. Time now to talk a little volleyball. You know, the fall is right around the corner, it seems like, all of a sudden. And joining me now, head volleyball coach Todd Dagenais, who's getting ready for his second season here at UCF. Coach, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for coming on the show. How's the spring going so far?
Well, obviously, this is a bit more of a relaxing time for us. You know, we're out of our first year, which was a whirlwind. So now we get a chance to really work on our individual skill, our individual ability. Focus is really not on the team at this point. We're just trying to make as many of our young and inexperienced players get to the level they can. Our more experienced players, we're just trying to shore up some of the weaknesses. So that part's going really well because we're starting to see some significant improvements in our players.
That's good because, you know, you got a bunch of holes to fill from last year. So how are you going to fill those holes?
Well, you have to fill it with a couple ways. I mean, one is what we're doing right now. You try to make individual players that didn't get a lot of playing time last year, you try to get them to the point where they can score points for you. Then the other thing that you do is you simply have to go out and recruit, which we've done a great job with that. My assistant, Michelle Chapman, is in charge of the recruiting, and she's been out there, and we have a really nice 09 recruiting class coming in, and a lot of them are going to compete for some playing time right away. But, you know, really right now for us, we've had that great year. We've had that year where we turned it around, and to be really honest with you, I mean, that was part of why we are doing what we're doing, but that's just the first step, really. And, you know, it's nice that we've done that, but now what we're trying to instill in the team is that we're not about trying to be a middle-of-the-pack team. We're trying to be a conference champion.
And part of that you've seen, too, with these veteran players that you have coming back now. Who are you going to place the emphasis on to lead the team going into the 2009 season?
Well, I think Erin Campbell's going to have to be, you know, one of the first names that come to mind. She played practically every match last year. She's doing a great job this spring of filling in now and becoming the team leader, which is something that we're looking for. And, you know, we'll figure out what role she's going to play on the court. Right now, she's our outside hitter. But she's got some really nice ball control, and she has aspirations of playing professionally after this year. And we think that maybe playing a libero position professionally might be her best thing. So she's been dabbling a little bit, hitting and playing a little bit of libero. And, you know, she'll tell you she enjoys being a hitter, but I think secretly she doesn't mind, you know, passing and playing a lot of defense too. So we'll just see what happens. And right now, more than likely, she's going to be our lead outside hitter and score a lot of points for us.
It's going to be interesting to see, you know, how her versatility continues to develop. Now, you do have some spring tournaments coming up. Tell me about that.
Yeah, right. We just played on March 21st. We had a nice spring tournament against University of Tampa and Florida Southern. Of course, Tampa's a Division II national championship contender every year, so that was a really nice competition for our players that didn't get to play at all last year. Now this weekend coming in, we've got Miami and Florida State that we will play on Saturday the 28th. So we're going to play them right away, and then depending on where we finish in our pool, determines who else we get to play throughout the day. But it's going to be the same thing. Everybody's going to get somewhat equal playing time, and we just want to start seeing who can step up and play when the lights are on.
And then before you know it, it's August and it's time to get ready for the season, so it just never stops.
There's just not enough days. There's not enough days to get everything done that we need to get done for August.
Coach, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Head coach Todd Dagenais, UCF Women's Volleyball. Stick around. Coming up next here on UCF Sports Night, we've got a look at our top plays of the week. That and plenty more when UCF Sports Night returns. Welcome back. It has been a marvelous month of March here at UCF with so many great moments. And now it's time for us to take a look back at some of those great plays set to the music of local bands. Special thanks to our friends at WJRR 1011 and Access Magazine, and also our editor, Brian Fernandez. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. It is our Sports Night highlight. The first week of April is shaping up to be a great one as we look at the week ahead. Action on Wednesday begins with women's tennis as they take on Jacksonville in their final home match of the season. Doubles play at the tennis complex begins at 3 p.m. Then later that night, the baseball team has a date with UNF on campus. First pitch for that game is at 6:30 p.m. and the game can be seen live on UCFathletics.com. Friday begins one of the busiest weekends of UCF sports all year. It starts with baseball on the road. They face the Memphis Tigers up in Tennessee in a weekend conference series. First pitch Friday is scheduled for 11 a.m., followed by Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. Women's golf is also on the road. They travel out to the Valley of the Sun for the Ping ASU Women's Golf Invitational. That event goes Friday through Sunday. Men's tennis is also on the road. They're in Greenville for the Conference USA Shootout. That goes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And track and field heads up to Gainesville for a big event, the Florida Relays, which also go Friday and Saturday. Saturday continues a lot of action, and the rowing team has a historic day. They face Duke in their first ever home meet at the new UCF rowing complex at Lake Pickett. Women's tennis heads up to Jacksonville to take on UNF. Things get underway there at noon on Saturday. Softball has a huge weekend series at home. They face Southern Miss at the softball complex. It's a double dip on Saturday at 1 and 3 p.m., followed by a noon tilt on Sunday. All the action can be seen live on UCFathletics.com. Men's golf heads up to beautiful Augusta, Georgia for the Augusta State Invitational at Forest Hills Golf Club. That event takes place Saturday and Sunday. And on Tuesday, baseball is back to work in Jacksonville as they face UNF at 7 p.m. As always, you can catch UCF Sports Night every Tuesday on Sun Sports, debuting at 3:30 p.m., as well as Tuesday and Thursday on Bright House Sports Network, and all week on UCF TV. Check your local listings. And as always, if you want to catch this episode another time or any of our archived episodes of UCF Sports Night, you can anytime you want on your computer. All you have to do is visit UCF.tv and click on UCF Sports Night. That is all for us for this week. For all of us here at UCF TV and UCF Athletics, I'm Jeff Sharon saying thank you so much for watching, and go Knights!
Hey, this is LT from 101.1 WJRR. You're listening to the best sounds of area music. UCF Athletics, Access Magazine, and WJRR are proud to support local artists. You can find more great artists by going online at www.wjrr.com and also accessmag.com, and by listening to Native Noise each and every Sunday at 11 o'clock.
UCF Sports Night has been brought to you by UCF TV. Today's show is also presented in part by Budweiser, the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Open up a world of taste. By the energy-saving conservation programs of Tico People's Gas. And by Centex Homes, proud to support UCF Athletics.